Hey guys, Mike Hedlesky here again. Asshole driving his car, version 2.0. I just wanted to answer another question while I got some time here. I posted something a while ago talking about how I was setting up a couple of key workouts throughout this training cycle going up into the Arnold Sports Festival. So just a couple of questions like, what the hell am I talking about? Basically, a key workout is a planned session. To boil it down as simple as I possibly can, you plan a session to suck, and you go in knowing it's gonna suck, and you go and do it, and it sucks. That's it. That's about it. So a little bit more, a better, explanation of what I'm talking about here. So as of right now, I'm really trying to hit 21 total training sessions a week, and I know that sounds insane, but out of those 21 sessions a week, I've got 6 of them that are my main lifts. 6 of them where I'm actually working specific bench, specific squat, or specific deadlift. And the way that rotates is there's 2 days a week of hypertrophy days, 1 for bench, 1 for squat and deadlift, 2 days a week for strength, and then 2 days a week for power. So, that's how it breaks up for those main kind of, those main sessions that are getting done. Now, those are not those key sessions that I'm talking about. So, if I'm keeping up with the 21 sessions a week, that puts me at 84 sessions a month. Out of those 84 sessions, 8 of them are key workouts, key sessions that you cannot deviate from, you can't miss, you can't take easy. So those right now are every Tuesday, which is today, and every Saturday, because the competition is actually on a Saturday. I just want to get used to that day of the week, me getting ready to really do some shit. So the way I've got it broken up right now, Tuesday, just today, is my squat and deadlift hypertrophy day. So it's super high volume. I know that the exact way the session's going to look is I've got about a 10 or a 15 minute warm up, just stretching out, just doing some basic stuff, jumping around. Might go get into a racquetball court and run some sprints back and forth, just something stupid just to move around a little bit. Then I actually go into warming up for the first it comes after the warm-up, I'm going to do some kind of max effort weighted jump. I haven't decided what that is today. I don't really think about it too much till I get there. I see what gym bros are using what, and then I just kind of go off as far away from them and do what exercise I can there. Mostly because I don't like getting asked a trillion questions while I'm working out. I have no problem explaining anything, but especially the couple of places I have to do most of my training, there's a lot of bro stuff going on. Which is fine. I have no problem answering questions and things like that. But when I'm doing like a weighted kneeling jump with a barbell on my back, I just start, when I get the question, I'm just like, oh, it works your abs better. And then all right, bro, gotcha. And that conversation's over. But anyway, so something for either a max height or a max weight. I'm still 9 weeks out from the competition, so today will be some kind of max weighted jump. So I'm thinking like a seated box jump or something like that. Nothing too crazy, something where the likelihood of me killing myself is slightly lower. So probably something like that. After just some kind of max effort plyometric exercise, go right into the hypertrophy deadlift work, which I believe today, this is why I write everything down. I don't remember any of shit. I believe today it's 5 sets of 5 with 615. I'm pretty sure. It's somewhere around there. The way I progress it from week to week is I just add 5 or 10 pounds, nothing too fancy. Again, if I were basing this off of like an RPE scale or something like that, I just wouldn't even come into the gym and do it. So it's got to be some kind of progression, some kind of structured thing going into it. So that's about as complicated as I get with that. I don't think there's no heavy singles after deadlifts today, and then I go right into my hypertrophy squat work, which I'm jacked up about because I haven't been able to squat in over a year because of injuries and stuff like that. So getting into that. I believe that's 4 sets of 7 with, again, nothing too crazy. It started off at around like 77.5% a couple weeks ago. Just been bumping it up 5 or 10 pounds every week. I think it's with about 445, 450 today. I need to double check on that, but again, nothing too nuts. Then after that, go right into some kind of heavy row. Usually today it is a Pendlay row. So just bringing the bar all the way back to the stop, pulling all the way up. I got 5 sets of 5. I've been taking it kind of easy on that. I've been having just some shoulder tendonitis. It hasn't stopped me from doing anything. It's feeling a lot better now. So hopefully I'll end up around 405 or so for 5 sets of 5 with that. Then I think I have 35 total pull-ups to do once that's over. So just 2 really basic assistance exercises. I get a lot out of just heavy fucking pulling stuff. So a lot of carry over to my deadlift anyway, I think. After that, I have max effort core work to do, which will be some kind of ridiculously heavy barbell core exercise. So I usually alternate between front squat holds and suitcase deadlifts. Basically the heaviest thing I can hold on to without my soul leaving my body. So it's a fine line. I think I've stepped over it a couple of times where you just, you get out of the other end of the exercise and you're just different now. And that's happened to me a couple of times. So that's the gist of the actual weight room stuff, and then I got some stretching and stuff to do afterwards. But also today, just to make it extra suck, I do some high intensity interval training afterwards. Usually it's something on a bike or a rower. Since my hips are finally feeling better after getting over a sports hernia, I would really like to go run some 100-meter sprints. Just because today's the coldest day we've had here in Maryland so far this winter, so I figured I'd celebrate by just like murdering myself. So I haven't been able to do any sprints or jumps or anything really last couple of months, that last whole year, because of that sports hernia. I mean, it feels like what giving birth would feel like if you're giving birth to all of your bones and muscles instead of a baby. So that's about as accurate as a description as I can make it. But finally getting better. I think I'd like to go out and just run 600-meter sprints with about a minute and a half rest in between, and like balls to the walls as hard as I can. And then that'll probably be about it for today. Saturdays is the power day, so that's the other key workout, and that is just oh man, just soul rendering weight being done. So it's usually like last weekend I found like a training max in my suit, and then did a bunch of sets and reps for some god awful percentage of that, and it's always over 90%. It's always for a lot of reps over 90%. I think this week I'm doing some kind of light plyometric exercise after the warm-up. Nothing for a max or anything. I was thinking I might do some like kneeling jumps to like a broad jump at like 80%. Maybe just like lay some tape out and see where my distance is on that. I really like keeping little records for plyometric exercises, because for me personally, I know when I really push that stuff, my deadlift speed off the floor gets ridiculous. So I mean, I don't have any science to back that up. I've just pulled 816 pounds before, and it felt fucking easy when I could broad jump 9 feet. So maybe there's something to that. I don't know. So after some basic little plyometric stuff, I believe today is Saturday. I mean, is a suited reverse band deadlift for a max, and then backing down with like 92% of whatever that max is for doubles. And I think it's 3 sets of 2. And then I'm doing a plus set with around 85% of whatever I work up to with the bands. Pretty light band tension. I don't like to go too nuts on it, so I don't want it to be too far off from what I can actually do. Like I used to get real all jacked up and crazy about it, like ripping 1,000 pounds off the floor, and then like I can only deadlift 7 something. So it didn't. With a lot of tension, there's not a lot of carryover. With lighter tension, especially in the suit, there's a shitload of carryover. For me anyway. Everybody's different, just something I kind of figured out on my own. So that's, and then just more, I think I've got a front squat that I'm finding a max double on, and some back off percentages from that. some really, really, really heavy grip work, because that's really been lagging with me lately. And then some more kind of like volume, core stuff, and then some light conditioning afterwards. Nothing as crazy it's going to be today. Hopefully that makes the key workouts make a little bit more sense. It's just, the whole point of them is just so you have this day that you know is going to be bad. You know it ahead of time. You know it weeks before you're even going into it. And it's just, you go in and you do it anyway and you get it done. For me, especially with all the higher frequency stuff, there needs to be a total disconnect emotionally from what you do training in the weight room. And this kind of helps that. You know, going into it, it feels a lot like you're going into a competition, and you know, you got to calm your nerves and everything. Well, I mean, if you're not a stomping around, you know, grunting guy, banging your head guy anyway, which I'm definitely not. Stuff drives me fucking crazy, honestly. And it's especially, like I said, especially with the higher frequency training, you have to be in complete control of your emotions the whole time. I mean, if you've seen some of my training videos, you can hear me laughing after sets. Like, yeah, I'm joking around with people that come and train with me on the weekends and stuff. It's just, you can't get too emotionally invested in your training, especially with the high frequency stuff, because if you do, you'll either burn out or get so sad you miss so many lifts you'll kill yourself. So I don't want it to end either of those ways. So just planning this stuff out ahead of time. You get used to, especially doing it on the same day you compete. I think it really just kind of helps the weekly wave like way that your body works. You know, it's just the way of things, the way it goes. Everybody kind of works in just these weird kind of cresting and troughing waves all the time. So hopefully if I build up enough of that on Saturdays, just beating the shit out of myself when I go to the competition in March, which is just a deadlift only, the only 3 lifts that I have to do that are going to be heavy won't feel like anything, and I'll pull something ridiculous. So yeah, that's about it. Let me know. I forget who asked the question. I'm driving, so I'm trying not to read anything. So if anybody has any further questions about that, or need a better explanation of my program as a whole right now, I'd be more than happy to answer it. Just let me know. You can leave a question on this video, actually. So yeah, that's all I got for right now. Have a good one.